Alright, hello everyone. So it's a Monday. I've already posted everything for today and the swing days for the week yesterday on Sunday evening my time. So lunchtime New York, you would have gotten it. Let's take a look at the market one by one. This is gold. Now with gold, as you can see, we said we'd get up into those levels. The market's kind of reaching there. We might go up into that second target there, which is logical, where they sold off before. As you can see, bang, bang. So we still may head off into that 77, which is a price of 2,488. And let's put that in there. All right, so around there. So that could still be a target. Now remember, with the swing days for gold, we've got today or tomorrow, okay, happening. So Monday, Tuesday. Now, this is what can happen. If the market goes up first, we can sell down, okay? If we come down here, go below the low of Friday or the low of last week, but quickly come back up, then we can go up. All right, but if we hang around below here, then obviously we're going to keep falling. Now let's check out some values here. Now remember, on the monthly, this is where, that's the kind of second target that we're heading up into, but we're also looking for a retracement. So where can we get to? So this weekly 80 level, 2,346, is right here, as you can see, right? 2,346. Pretty much, as you can see, that's where the market took off today, and that's your weekly support level. That level we want to get down to, if we break below there, is 72, and that's a price of 2,305, which is going to be there, right? Which we're pretty much there, isn't it? Let's get rid of that. So that's also a target down here if the market breaks down. And then we've got 61 to 57, 2,317, 2,302, 2,298. So 2,298 and 2,302 is just there. So this zone is actually also a target on the daily. What do I have? 56. Yeah, so it's pretty much down there. Okay, so all the way into down here, and then we've got HCL1, which is 2,309 there. So this zone is a legit target. In there. Okay, so if we dip into there, take out the previous lows weak, but go back up, then that could be a nice trade to kind of go up. That could happen today or tomorrow. Okay, so that's one option there. If we go up and we don't come down, where to sell? Well, the first level, like I said, is 77. That's on the monthly, and that's all the way up there, so it's a bit far up. Okay, the other option is if we come back up into filling a gap or doing a goodbye kiss, in this zone here. It's a bit too much. So what we'll do is we'll do this. We'll take this zone. If we get back up into this zone, close gaps into there, and then we can sell off as well. All right, so there are the two options there. So it's a bit in the middle of nowhere, but there are two ways you can do this. If you're going to play around here, buying off the opening or the closing of Friday, to push up at Astro hours with a tight stop loss is okay also. All right. The other options, like I said, buy the lows if it comes down and goes up again quickly. Okay. And the other option is if it goes up here into that zone, check out the Astro hours, and then sell option here is okay. You can look for a U-turn, and on the smaller time frame you can look for a short setup. Euro dollar, let's take a look. It's a new week. Now, no surprises here. We've talked about this before. We're expecting the market to come down. I've been talking about it for ages. So every time the market goes up, remember, we've been selling it down all the way from here. Why? Because the 5 wave up. So we're looking for an ABC down. So this should come down like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 7 down, really exhausting everything. And then once it's really, really exhausted, we're going to get into a buy mode. That's that. Now here, this is the breakout, and obviously no selling here. All right. I also said I don't like to sell at the support, so if it comes up, you can sell off. Obviously, it didn't come back up, okay, but still, the market just pushed down. This was an opportunity, because here's the impulse wave, and then the breakdown. Here's also the breakdown, okay. But you can see it didn't give the market much, and I said this might bleed downwards. And on Friday, I actually took a trade from here, which actually covered itself, and I closed it actually this morning because I was checking out the hours and everything. I said, let's start. It's a new week. Let's start fresh. Now with the euro dollar, downwards motion obvious. Today with the euro dollar is a swing day, so buying lows is an option. If the market dips down, they've already bought at last week's closing. They've retested that, so anywhere here is okay. Now we can have a breakout with this. This is 6:17, so the market can break out into 10 past 8. Okay, 10 past 8 and 8:30, the market can push up and bring us into these higher levels. Now, if we get back into the weekly pivot, now this is a dump, so having a move up and push up is okay. Let me just put this on an hourly chart to see where the PSTs are. Oh, this is nice too. As you can see, just give it a second. There you go. It would have been nice if we were down here somewhere. Okay, so if we come back into 34, 31, let's say 34, 1.0632, 1.0632. Well, it may not do that because that's already done. Here 32. Yeah, it may not do that, but like I said, looks like we're going to have a breakout into that time. Now if we go back up here, which looks like this week we can, selling is not a bad idea on the weekly pivot in this zone. All right, so this is your zone. Just be mindful the market can also come up to here, fill in the gap, and then sell off, and then that would be this zone there. All right, so if we step into that zone, looking okay to sell off. If you want to buy, like I said, you can wait till London opens up if you like, and do that as well. If it comes down, going up is not a bad option. Now here on the daily, we're right on the line. On the weekly, 1.06 is the HCL1. Down here, okay, so don't buy here obviously, okay, no buying here, simply because they sold off here. Right? You don't want to be buying where they sold off before. So if you want to buy the lows down here, closing, opening here, or down here. How to do that? Well, on the weekly we're down here, so if we want to go back up into the 44, 1.0736, 1.0736 is all the way up there. So this is an option. All right, there. If we come up to here, the weekly pivot, taking out this gap, plus into there, and then back in straight away, that's a good place to sell off. Okay. On the monthly, as you can see, we're breaking down. Okay, so instead of buying, selling is a better option, obviously. Okay, and as you can see, we've got targets down here, all the way into 1.0414. It should like bring us down here. We've got lower targets as well, 39, which is 1.0337, and so on, right? 37, 1.0223. So we've got room to come down. We should go below this, break it, dip down, and then look for a buy setup. Okay, so at the end of the day, if you want to sell, which is the logical thing to do, you got to wait for the market to pop up. If you want to buy and then sell, okay, so then obviously what's going to happen is you're going to have to look for a buy position at the lows, the closing, the opening, and so on, in order to get back into that mode. All right, the buy mode up into this zone, SP 500. Now, oops, why is that off? Let me just bear with me. Let me put this here. Okay. All right. So I haven't put the hours here. What's that for? Let's say 6:20. All right. So that's there. If you're trading this, I would wait for either lunchtime, okay, or the New York session, like 8:25 my time. When I say 8:25, I mean 18:25. So there, and 7:20 my time is going to be there. So this zone might be a better option to wait for, or the lunchtime, which is going to be 11:05 to, you got to start looking for stuff around 11:05, 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock. That's 11, 12, 1. You could just say, you know what, I'm going to wait till 1 o'clock and see where the market is at 1 o'clock. Overall, all right, we said we would get down here. I drew that white dotted line. So market came there on Friday, so I drew that on Wednesday, I think. So, no big deal. This is a known situation from technical analysis. So the market wanting to go up from here a little bit is okay, but that's the support there. All right. So this is a big push up just on the edge of that target on the monthly, coming back into LCL1, 5,109. If you're using your ATAM strategy, that's your 5,109, which we talked about. Okay. Now on the weekly, we're on targets as well. So market wanting to go up a bit is possible. If it does, we should sell down. Okay. As you can see, it's engulfing, and so on, like 2 weeks in a row. And last week I also mentioned selling is not a bad idea because we've got lower highs happening and lower lows. As you can see, the market closing below the swings. So if we get back up into this zone somewhere, into that blue candle zone, all right, selling is going to be an option. And that range is around, let's see, 5,196. What about your 54? 5,221. 5,196 is going to be around here. So that zone is probably going to be here. All right, so if the market comes up, selling from here is an option. Okay. The weekly pivot is also not a bad spot. All right, so that's not a bad spot either. As you can see on Friday, they've sold off. Wednesday there was news, market sold off. So that was a dump. Market pumping up, market dumping down. If it goes back up, want to dump again. Okay, so the weekly pivot, this zone is not bad. Slightly higher is not bad either. This is actually this zone here. Okay, this is a big zone, so you'll have to wait a little bit for a setup on a smaller time frame. But I'd say selling is not a bad idea to push down. Now then, you got HCL1 5042, which is just there on the PST daily. The weekly is already done, so it's a bit tricky. You got to be mindful now because the market's done weekly targets. So pushing up is also not a bad idea. Monday is a swing day for SP 500 and possibly Dow Jones. Right, Dow Jones, I got Monday or Tuesday. SP 500 Monday. So market going up from here is also okay, as you can see. All right, we're in that, we're in that buy zone here, which we've talked about before. So here we are. All right, that zone there. And I will get rid of this. And that's it. What you got to be careful for is the good buy kiss here, 5,164. That level can also be a sell-off level. Which is right on the edge of that line there. Okay, so this zone is also a sell level. The market can come up, sweep stops, and then push down. Okay, as you can see, this is the Astra hour. Breaking upwards is okay with this in order to sell in New York. All right. If it comes back down into the closing, opening at an Astra hour, going back up, it's not a bad idea in London. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now with Dow Jones, remember I said Monday or Tuesday. This is a nice double bottom, market pushing up. 620 is here. So the market is nicely actually doing what it needs to do. Astro hour, moving off from the opening. Okay, so it's nice and easy. If it pulls back, you can come back to go up. Also going long at this zone here is not a bad idea, where you got the closing plus the gap. So the market might take a dip down into there. Okay, and if it does, at an Astra hour, so going back up is not a bad idea in order to get up into these zones here. So these zones, you got to be careful, these price levels, because that's your good buy kiss. 38,197, which is there. On the weekly also, we've pretty much done all the targets plus the price targets. Look how precise all this is. Right, very precise in targeting. And that's it. Now going back up into 38,540 is also an option. All right. So yeah, following this upwards into those levels is an option which you need to keep in mind. So going up is not a bad idea today on these. As you can see on the monthly, it's nice and easy right on there. Okay, and that's your 60 zone, is it? 59 or something. 37,712. Okay, so that's your LCL1. 37,712, 37,712. Okay, we could still dip down a little bit more, as you can see. All right, we've still got half of the month to go. So, yeah. So from the lows going up in New York is also an option. You could do that. In New York, I am expecting a sudden move for the market. It's until from, let's say, from 6:30 to 7:25 or 7:30, around there. And once the market finds direction with the indices, it should go until 10:15 to 10:45. Okay, that's, yeah, that's that. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ is pretty much going to be the same thing. This is your NASDAQ. As you can see, nice sell-off here. We're still in the box, but remember that the sell-off levels we had last week, I said we need to be a bit careful here because there's a slight breakout. Okay, so we needed to be a bit careful. In any case, though, it fell off at the Astro hours and the highs there. All right, so no dramas. If you traded the others, you would have had the same result. No big deal. I said we should come into 79.50. As you can see, the market made that happen. Why? Because that was the PST level. See? Now the sell level for the week is 66.10, 18.231. So 18.231 can be a target to sell off. That's a weekly goodbye kiss nicely there. All right, and then we've got room to come down if it decides to push further down. On the daily as well, you can see we're in a bit of a squeeze here, so this is going to break down or up one way or another. Okay, I'm thinking we should probably come lower before we go up, but this is a consolidation. Now the thing with the consolidation is the trend is up. Okay, so upwards trend, market going sideways. Two options here. We're either going to go sideways and go boom 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 down, or we're going to go boom 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 up, right? So one way or the other. How we're going to discern all that? Well, we're going to discern all that trading at the right time at the right price. Now the daily support for this is 43, which is 17,935. 17,935 is there. So that's enough to sweep the stops from last Friday. So if the market comes down first and then goes back up quickly at an Astro hour, going up into these levels, the weekly, this zone is a better option. The resistance on the daily is going to be 56, 18,361, and that's going to be way up here. That's on the daily. Okay, so that's on the daily. So this zone is on the weekly, that's on the daily if we get up there. But if it comes down first, buying to go up may be the better option. The swing days for NASDAQ, then they're further down the week, but you can still use SP 500 and Dow Jones as a reference because the indices go together, and that's how it is. All right, so the support here, buying the support and so on, is not a bad option. Let's just get rid of this. Okay. On the weekly, then you got the lower level. If the market decides to go down, 60 is going to be your first target. 17,849, which is there. All right, which is just below the low of the previous week. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, I said the swing days for this would be the weekend. That's your Saturday, Sunday, market going up. Also, we had, I think it was Tuesday, isn't it? Is that yeah, that's Tuesday. The market swing day for Bitcoin went all the way into the weekend from Tuesday to the weekend. All right. So what now? Now, obviously, what? We've got a bit of room to come up here, as you can see. That's a good buy kiss there. We're still look at this. We're in a rectangle here again. So I did say the market we want to buy the lows. All right, and that's what it's doing. Now it's all going to depend on whether we break this level or not. On the weekly, that good buy kiss is 76, which is 75,960, which is way up there. All right, so just note it down. But you know, these sell-offs, as you can see, sideways market. So you know, buying the lows, selling the highs is what you want to be doing. All right, so like I said last week as well, you see how the market sold off at the highs there, pushing into the lows. So until this low level breaks out, we're still in the sideways move. Okay, and buying the lows and selling the highs is an option. Just be careful in this mid range here. That's like 50% off the sideways channel. So this will be a resistance zone when the market gets up here, as you can see. Okay, it's about 67,250 zone. Okay, and the 54, like I say, 69,796. 69,796 is around there. Okay, so that's also a zone the market can sell off at. I'm going to get rid of this. Just make sure you mark in that weekly 75 zone. Okay. If it breaks below this zone and closes below, then you know we're going down into this zone, which is what I'm expecting anyway. Like, we need to come down. Okay. And that's how it is. So yeah. All right, and that's that. On the monthly, okay, so on the monthly, that level 66, 59,285. 59. Is around there. Okay, so we might probably go down to the previous month's low, which will be down here somewhere. Okay, and that's that. Okay.